Hello everyone, SquaredCircle Wrestling is back with another episode which includes Eric Bischoff suggests AEW to book CM Punk vs Goldberg at AEW All-In. Major update on Becky Lynch's WWE contract status and Raw absence. Popular star favorite to win Men's Money in the Bank 2023. Triple H forced to have a major title change soon. Former Impact World Champion advised Jon Moxley to leave AEW. And much more. You can check the complete list and with the time chapters in the description below. Before we start, make sure to subscribe to our channel for all the latest news. Eric Bischoff suggests AEW to book CM Punk vs Goldberg to sell out AEW All-In. Former WCW President Eric Bischoff suggests Tony Khan to book a major first-time match for AEW All-In at Wembley Stadium if he wants to sell out the event. He said having Punk on the card for AEW All-In at Wembley Stadium seemed like a no-brainer, given his star power. He described how he believes not booking Punk for the show would make a statement. He then suggested Tony Khan that CM Punk and Goldberg for the event would be a major ticket seller. He stated, "That I agree with, and that will probably be the tipping point for young Tony Khan is because there's a lot of pressure on Tony. I think Wembley's gonna be great, with or without Punk. I would prefer, if I was Tony Khan, to do it without Punk because that makes a real statement. Who drew the house? Did AEW draw the house, or did CM Punk draw the house? If I was Tony Khan, strategically, looking forward, I would absolutely not book CM Punk on that show, even though I would know that doing so would ensure more sales. I wouldn't sell my soul to that piece of garbage. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't compromise my company. I wouldn't dilute my leverage as a brand, depending on a guy who, 6 months ago, absolutely buried my company, while I was sitting right next to him, acting like a petulant 14-year-old piece of garbage. No, I wouldn't do it, even though I know that putting CM Punk on the card would ensure a much better turnout. Hey, I've got an idea. Book CM Punk and Bill Goldberg. You want to book something that's gonna sell out Wembley, book that. Bill Goldberg's last match against CM Punk. Dare you. Grab your balls, TK. Go with it. Dare you. Eric Bischoff also playfully described how he thought Tony Khan would roll out the red carpet for Goldberg to sign with AEW. I don't either. I said this a couple weeks ago, if Bill is money motivated. And he could be, I don't think he needs the money, but guys like Bill aren't about needing the money. It's about wanting money. And if Bill decides, hey, couple $1,000,000 to show up over in Wembley, thrash Phil Brooks around a little bit, prove to everybody what he really is and isn't, I'd take it. Who wouldn't? It'll be fun. He'd probably get a private jet. TK will probably fly him over there, roll out the red carpet, hang all over him, give him all kinds of big hugs, say wonderful things about him, give him $2, $3, $4 million, whatever. Fly him over there on a private jet. Who wouldn't do that? I would in a heartbeat. Would you like to see CM Punk vs Goldberg at AEW All-In? Let us know in the comments below. Major update on Becky Lynch's WWE contract status and Raw absence. As noted earlier, Lynch took to Twitter and announced that she will not be on tonight's Raw. She also blacked out her Twitter profile, removed the main WWE reference and changed the name from her WWE ring name to her real name. In an update, a new report from Fightful Select clarified that Lynch was originally scheduled to be at tonight's Raw as of last Monday, but that changed as she has been dealing with a minor foot injury. Lynch's tweet led to speculation on her WWE status, but sources noted that there are no issues to their knowledge between Becky Lynch and WWE, and the rumors about her leaving were not true. Regarding Lynch's WWE contract, it is that she signed a brand new deal upon returning in 2021. And her time off for maternity leave is not a factor. Lynch's 3-year deal is set to expire in mid-2024, and it's believed that she may be in store for some big-time money at that point. It was noted that Lynch and WWE have not entered into talks for a new deal as of now. Next up, popular star favorite to win Men's Money in the Bank 2023. A popular WWE star has reportedly been discussed as a favorite candidate to win the Men's Money in the Bank match this year. WRKD Wrestling tweeted, LA Knight has been discussed internally as a leading candidate to win this year's Money in the Bank match. #SmackDown. This tweet came right after LA Knight was beaten on latest episode of SmackDown by Xavier Woods, the second time Knight has lost to Woods recently. In fact, Knight recorded 7 losses and 2 wins this year, yet he's still managed to grow into one of the most popular names in the company among fans, all while still being presented as a heel too. Triple H forced to have a major title change soon. Triple H could be forced to have Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens lose their undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship soon. The duo only won the belts at Wrestlemania 39 a month back, but their reign could end soon. The reason for the potential title change has a lot to do with the Night of Champions pay-per-view that is set for Saudi Arabia. As noted, WWE is heading to Saudi Arabia on May 27th for the Night of Champions, but both Owens and Zayn are expected to miss the show. What makes it tricky is Night of Champions' main focus is on every championship being defended, so it's unlikely that Triple H would want one of WWE's titles not being defended on the show. A rematch between the Usos and Co and Sami is set to take place on SmackDown on April 28th, the same night that WWE Draft begins. Triple H could easily have the Usos win back their undisputed tag titles, ensuring that the tag team championships can be defended at Night of Champions, without Sami or Owens taking part in the show. Next up, Saraya talks about who she wants to face at a AEW Wembley show. In a recent interview, AEW star Saraya spoke on whom she wants to face at a AEW All-In at Wembley Stadium in front of her home crowd. She stated, "I haven't performed in the UK in years, and then to be on one of the biggest stages you can get over there. Wembley Stadium. It's just a very wild opportunity. It does have that WrestleMania 1 vibe where this is something really special. I feel so fortunate that I get to be a part of history." As for who Saraya would like to face at Wembley, there are two names that stand out. I would love to face Jamie Hayter. That would be amazing because she's also from the UK. I've had the opportunity to be in a tag and triple threat, but not a singles match, and I would love that opportunity. Do we open that forbidden door? Mercedes Money, I would love to face her there. That would be such a full circle moment. There's so much opportunity there. Whom would you like Saraya to face at All-In? Jamie Hayter or Mercedes Money? Let us know in the comments below. Dustin Rhodes, formerly known as Goldust, comments on Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania loss. Dustin Rhodes recently discussed Cody Rhodes' WrestleMania match against Roman Reigns for the undisputed title. Dustin weighed in on the matter on Busted Open Radio. "They're making him pay for it now. They're making him earn it, and I like that. I do. I like that. Because once you put the title on him, where are you going? I'm extremely proud of him. I wish him the best, and he's going to be world champion. I know it. I don't know when, but he's going to be world champion." Next up, former Impact World Champion advised Jon Moxley to leave AEW. On his recent podcast, former Impact World Champion EC3 said this about Jon Moxley's following recent comments regarding all the backstage drama involving Elite and Punk in AEW, saying, "First thing, it comes down to when you are financially secure and you don't need it. I mean, everybody likes having more money, but I think the fact that he has had such great runs and great deals in both companies that he's not a money guy. He's not like buying frivolous things. He's probably well saved and very happy and being content. Even if by taking that risk Moxley's AEW comments, if that was taken away, he'd be like, whatever. I can go back to WWE or I'll make $8 billion doing indies." Having that freedom, I think, allows him to shoot straight. While he did it while under the banner of the company as opposed to not under it, because now was the time to do it. Perhaps he wants to instill change or put the fire under the asses of the people in charge, or he wants out, or he just doesn't care and he is open, honest, and will speak his mind, which I respect. Next up, CM Punk's AEW return feud reportedly revealed. After several months away, CM Punk looks to be on his way back to All Elite Wrestling in June 2023, with reports indicating the two-time AEW World Champion will be the star of the promotion's rumored Saturday night show. The AEW roster will also see a soft split when the new Saturday show premieres in the coming months. Many believe the biggest program AEW could do when Punk returns is CMFTR versus the Elite, playing off the real-life issues between Punk and the Elite that culminated in a backstage fight following Punk's post-all-out media scrum. That program seemingly won't be happening though, as the Elite have no intention of working with Punk. As reported on Wrestling Observer Live by Andrew Zarian, Punk had recently said he wants to return to AEW and he wants to make it work. The issue here is he's willing to work with the Elite members. I know as of the time I was told in early this week, there was no intention on the other side. Maybe Kenny a little bit more than the Bucks, but they do not want to work with him. There's been no dialogue between the two sides either about sitting down and making this work. Instead, Punk appears to be set for a feud with Chris Jericho when he returns in June, with Zarian adding, "The way it was alluded to me is that the program will probably be Punk and Jericho in some capacity. I don't know if FTR is involved or the Jericho Appreciation Society is involved. Jericho willing to make this work." Next up, former Raw GM concerned for WWE after Cody Rhodes' loss at WrestleMania. Talking about the loss of the American Nightmare against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, Eric Bischoff said this on his 83 Weeks podcast. "I'm a little concerned about what's going to happen in WWE creatively. Everybody was talking about WrestleMania, WrestleMania, WrestleMania. Cody, Roman, Cody, Roman, Cody, Roman. I was excited about that as well, but I was more excited, truthfully, about where WWE was going to go after WrestleMania, because to me the stage was set, there was so much great story there. It was like watching the Kentucky Derby, where my favorite part of the Kentucky Derby is when they bring the horses into the paddock. They're fired up, ready to go, they just want to frickin' run, but you gotta get them into that starting gate. That's the way I felt about WWE creative going into WrestleMania. I'm hoping the WWE doesn't lose creative momentum. I think it's time for WWE creative to evolve." Next up, WWE called out for Lacey Evans' poor creative booking. On his latest podcast, Jim Cornette had this to say about the current creative booking status in WWE for Lacey Evans, as he stated, "She's great. She's got the size. She looks great. She has the demeanor and the facials. She can talk like a bee. What a great heel she's been." And then she disappeared again. And stop and start, back and forth. I don't know. I don't know what the problem has been. I don't know why they have stopped and started this girl and gave her umpteen different personalities. It's the most baffling thing I've ever seen. She would be a no-brainer of anybody on the WWE female roster. Past Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley, Lacey Evans is the one that I would take next, trying to figure out something to do with. And finally, Johnny Gargano seriously injured. On an update on Johnny Gargano's absence from WWE, Sean Ross Sapp said that Johnny Gargano hasn't appeared on WWE programming since NXT Stand and Deliver, leading many to wonder where he's been. Fightful Select has learned that Gargano re-aggravated the shoulder injury that had him sidelined for much of January. After only having a couple of matches his first few weeks back, Gargano ended up wrestling a dozen matches after March 4th. We're told that the shoulder injury got worse after his Royal Rumble return, and by the time of the NXT match with Grayson Waller, he was severely hampered and using one arm. The hope from the company is that he can repair the injury with physical therapy as opposed to surgery. There was speculation that Vince McMahon returning to the fold led to Gargano's absence, but that isn't the case. And that is all for today's news. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel SquaredCircle Wrestling for all the latest updates.